One Amazon device exists in more homes than any Apple or Google product, and Panos Panay just showed us why Amazon is about to dominate the entire AI hardware space. Think about it. If you own an Alexa speaker, Fire tablet, or Ring doorbell, you're already living with Amazon's ecosystem. Now imagine if every single one of those devices just got exponentially smarter through integrated AI. That's exactly what Panos Panay, Amazon's devices chief, is orchestrating right now. In a recent interview, he detailed an audacious vision, not just incremental updates to Alexa, but a fundamental rethinking of how AI should work across all Amazon hardware. This isn't about competing with one smart speaker from Google or one from Apple. This is about creating a unified intelligence layer that touches your phone, your TV, your speakers, your cameras, your Ring doorbells, your appliances, your entire connected home. What makes this moment different from previous tech hardware promises is the sheer scope and speed of execution. Amazon isn't starting from scratch. They're upgrading existing hardware that's already deeply embedded in millions of households. And they're doing it with Anthropic-powered AI models that can actually reason locally. This is the story nobody's paying attention to yet, but it's about to reshape how your smart home works. Here's what Panos Panay is actually building. To understand what Panos Panay is doing now, you need to know Amazon's unusual advantage in hardware. Most tech companies focus on one or two flagship devices. Apple has iPhones, Google has Pixels, but Amazon, they've got speakers, tablets, Fire TVs, Ring cameras, Fire sticks, and increasingly sophisticated AI wearables in development. For years, these were treated as separate products. Sure, they all connected to Alexa, but Alexa's intelligence was mostly cloud-based. You'd ask a question, Amazon's servers would respond, and you'd wait for an answer. It worked, but it felt slow and clunky. Here's the change. Anthropic's Claude models have gotten so capable that they can now run on-device reasoning. This means Alexa can think locally. When you ask a complex question, your Echo speaker or Fire tablet doesn't need to send everything to the cloud anymore. It can reason through the answer on the device itself. This is a complete game change. Everything becomes faster, more private, and more capable instantly. The latency problem vanishes. Amazon's devices suddenly feel powerful instead of sluggish. What Panos Panay discovered was an opportunity nobody else had spotted. He had tens of millions of devices already in homes, and he could unlock their dormant potential with on-device AI. He saw a path to making Amazon devices smarter than Google's or Apple's, not in 5 years, but right now. That's the advantage he's exploiting. Panos Panay didn't bury the lead in his interview. He said Amazon's next era is about making AI so seamless that you forget you're talking to artificial intelligence. It just works. The strategy has 3 core pillars. First, Alexa transforms into a genuine reasoning engine instead of a lookup bot. Instead of searching your question against a database, it actually thinks. You ask for dinner recommendations on a low-sodium diet, and it doesn't return a generic list. It reasons about which restaurants nearby actually serve low-sodium dishes, reads reviews mentioning sodium content, and makes a real recommendation. That's reasoning, not retrieval. Second, this intelligence rolls out across all Amazon devices simultaneously with zero fragmentation. An Echo speaker gets the same Alexa brain as a Fire tablet or a Ring display. You start a conversation in the kitchen, walk to your doorbell display, and continue seamlessly because the same reasoning engine understands the entire context. There's no version confusion, no starting over. Third, Amazon is building a privacy architecture that actually respects your data by default. All processing happens on device first. The AI only pings Amazon's cloud if you explicitly ask for remote features, like syncing across multiple homes. Panos Panay framed it as treating your home like a fortress that only opens doors you unlock. That's genuinely different from how Google and Apple typically handle device AI. Real-world impact hits immediately across Amazon's device lineup. Start with Alexa on Echo speakers. Today, if you ask Alexa to set your lights to warm white and dim them to 30% brightness, Alexa makes multiple separate calls: set lights, adjust brightness, change color temperature. With reasoning, that becomes one coherent instruction. Execution is instantaneous because Alexa thought through the sequence first. On Fire tablets, the upgrade is even bigger. Tablets already have screens, so Alexa can show reasoning visually. Imagine asking, "Help me organize my garage to maximize floor space. I have 10 items here, and I need them accessible but efficient." Alexa walks you through spatial optimization on the screen in real time, suggesting placements, moving items around digitally. Tablets transform from consumption devices into genuinely smart assistant devices. Ring doorbells get smart interpretation. Instead of just motion detected, the AI checks your arrival history, time of day, current weather, whether you usually receive packages, and suggests whether you might want to unlock the door or ask someone to wait. Fire TVs become whole home coordination hubs. Panos Panay specifically mentioned that Fire TVs will serve as the central nervous system for multi-room AI. In a household with multiple people and rooms, the Fire TV coordinates everything. You tell it good night, and it reasons through locking doors, adjusting thermostats, arming security cameras, silencing notifications, not as pre-programmed sequences, but as actual reasoning about what your evening routine should be. So how does Amazon's approach differ from what Google and Apple are doing right now? Google's strategy is to push Gemini into every product: phones, speakers, tablets, displays. The reasoning is there, but it's fragmented. Your Google Home speakers run different versions of Gemini than your Pixel phone. The conversation doesn't carry over cleanly. You're managing separate ecosystems. Apple's approach is more conservative. They're focusing on device AI for phones and tablets first, keeping most intelligence local, but not heavily emphasizing cross-device reasoning. Siri is still playing catch-up in terms of actual reasoning capability. Amazon's advantage is architectural. They have an installed base of over 100 million devices that people already use and trust. They are saying, forget buying a new flagship phone, you already own the hardware. We're just switching on the reasoning brain that was always dormant inside. Google and Apple have to convince you to buy their latest device to access their best AI. Amazon gets to upgrade your existing devices for free. That's a massive market advantage. Additionally, Amazon's privacy approach is stricter by default. Google and Apple's on-device AI models still sync behavioral data to the cloud for training and improvement. Amazon's model keeps that data local unless you opt in. For households skeptical of tech companies, that's a meaningful differentiator. Panos Panay is betting that offering more privacy, seamless multi-device conversation, and free updates to existing hardware will win against Google and Apple's approach of requiring new purchases. If Panos Panay's vision succeeds, the implications for the smart home market are staggering. Right now, most homes with smart devices have a fragmented mess. Maybe your speakers are Amazon, your cameras are Google, your thermostat is Nest, your lights are Philips Hue. Everything talks to different clouds, uses different AI systems, requires different apps. Amazon is saying, consolidate on our platform, and your entire home becomes one coherent intelligence. That's attractive to people tired of managing 3 different ecosystems. For Amazon, this is potentially worth billions of dollars. The smart home market is projected to exceed $500 billion globally by 2030. If Amazon controls even 30% of that market with their reasoning-driven approach, that's $150 billion in annual revenue potential just from devices and services. But here's the darker implication. Amazon collects staggering amounts of behavioral data from these devices. When you wake up, what you eat, what temperature you like, what products you search for, your routines, your entire life pattern. If Amazon gets more intimate with your home through reasoning AI, the data collection becomes exponentially more granular. Amazon's not malicious, but they're a company motivated by advertising profit. More data about you means more valuable ad targeting. That's the trade-off nobody loudly discusses. Panos Panay's vision wins on convenience, but it tightens Amazon's grip on your behavioral data considerably. So what should you actually do with this information right now? First, if you own Amazon devices, understand that over the next 6 months, Alexa is going to change significantly. The version you use today isn't the version you'll use by year-end. These aren't just firmware updates, they're architectural changes. Alexa will be smarter, but it will also collect more granular data about your behavior. If privacy is a concern, consider disabling cloud features you don't actively need. Most Amazon devices let you turn off cloud sync, disable voice history storage, and restrict data collection to device level only. It's in your settings under privacy. Second, be strategic about which Amazon devices you buy next. If Panos Panay is right, the reasoning revolution means even older Echo speakers and tablets will get an intelligence boost without new hardware purchases. Don't get tricked into thinking you need the newest model. The real upgrade is in the AI models, and that rolls out to devices you already own. Third, if you're shopping for a home assistant, this is a pivotal moment to either double down on Amazon, diversify across platforms, or switch to privacy-first open-source options like Home Assistant. The network effects of a unified Amazon ecosystem are genuinely powerful, but the data collection trade-off is also genuine. Understand what you're committing to before you decide. Finally, watch what Microsoft, Google, and enterprise AI companies do in response. Amazon's open play for home dominance won't go unanswered. Here's what this moment actually means for you. Panos Panay isn't just updating Alexa, he's making a bet that the future of AI is distributed across devices in your home, not centralized in the cloud. If he's right, your smart home becomes genuinely intelligent within months. If he's wrong, Amazon's hardware advantage withers as Google and Apple ship better reasoning on their platforms. Either way, the smart home market just got way more interesting. The real story is this: Amazon already owns the smart speakers market, but owning speakers is boring. What Amazon wants to own is your entire home, your security, your comfort, your routines, your data. Panos Panay's AI strategy is how they're going to do it. The question for you is whether that centralization feels like convenience or like a company getting too close to your personal life. That's not a technical question, it's a values question, and it's yours to answer. For now, keep an eye on your Alexa devices over the next few months. Notice when they get smarter. Notice when they do things you didn't explicitly program. That's Panos Panay's vision materializing in real time. Whether you love it or hate it, it's coming whether you're ready or not. Stay skeptical, stay informed, and make deliberate choices about what devices you invite into your home. Follow for daily AI news.